If this pain was meant to destroy you, you would already be broken. The fact that you're still standing is proof. Allah is not hurting you. He's repositioning you. The pain came without warning. One day life felt familiar, and the next it felt foreign. You didn't plan for this heaviness in your chest or the silence that followed the loss. Nothing prepared you for how quickly things could change. It entered your life uninvited and stayed longer than you expected. You didn't ask for sleepless nights or unanswered questions. Yet here you are, carrying something you never chose. There are pains you expect in life, and then there are pains that shock your soul, the kind that makes you pause and whisper, "Ya Allah, I wasn't ready." This pain didn't come with instructions or explanations. It came while you were trying your best. It came while you were praying, hoping, trusting. And that's what hurts the most when hardship meets sincerity. You replay moments in your mind, wondering where things shifted. You search for a mistake, a sign, a warning you might have missed. But sometimes pain doesn't come because you failed. Sometimes it comes even when you did everything right. Allah allows certain trials not as consequences, but as crossings. And crossings are never comfortable. This pain interrupted your routine and rearranged your emotions. It made ordinary days feel heavy and familiar places feel strange. You smile, but the weight remains. You speak, but something inside stays quiet. It's exhausting to explain a pain that has no clear shape, and even more exhausting to carry it alone. There are nights when the world sleeps, but your thoughts remain awake. You lie there questioning how something unseen can hurt this deeply. Your heart feels stretched between patience and exhaustion. You make dua, yet tears fall before words do. This pain teaches you how fragile strength really is. You didn't ask for your heart to be tested like this. You didn't volunteer to be strong today. Yet Allah placed you here because He knows what you can carry, even when you doubt it. The weight feels unfair because you are human. And being human means feeling before understanding. Some pain doesn't scream. It whispers constantly. It follows you into conversations and sits beside you in solitude. Others may not notice the battle you're fighting internally, but Allah sees every silent struggle. He hears the dua you couldn't finish and the cries you hid behind patience. This pain changed the way you see life. Things that once mattered feel distant now, and things you never noticed suddenly feel important. Hardship has a way of stripping distractions away. It forces you to look inward, even when you're afraid of what you might find. You didn't wake up wanting your heart to ache. You didn't plan to outgrow people, dreams, or versions of yourself. But pain accelerates growth in ways comfort never could. It pushes you into awareness. It asks questions your ease never asked, and it demands honesty from your soul. Sometimes the pain comes from losing something you loved deeply. Other times it comes from staying in something that slowly drained you. Both leave scars, but both carry lessons. Allah removes and Allah withholds with equal wisdom. Even when the reason is hidden, the purpose remains. You feel tired not just physically, but spiritually and emotionally. Carrying unanswered why questions weighs heavier than any burden. You ask Allah for relief. Yet the test continues. That doesn't mean you are forgotten. It means the story isn't finished yet. This pain taught you that reliance on Allah is not optional. When everything else slips away, He remains. When people fail to understand, He already knows. Pain peels away false security and leaves you with truth. And truth, though painful, is freeing. You didn't ask to be reshaped like this. But Allah reshapes hearts before He elevates them. He softens what was rigid and strengthens what was weak. Pain is one of His tools, not because He is harsh, but because He is wise. Growth often requires pressure. Some days you manage well, and other days you barely survive. And both days count. Allah does not measure you by productivity during hardship. He measures your sincerity, your patience, your turning back to Him. Even your exhaustion is known to Him. This pain forced you to slow down and reflect. It stopped you from running on autopilot. It asked you to sit with your soul and listen. Not everything that slows you down is meant to harm you. Some pauses are divine protection in disguise. You may feel like this pain stole parts of you, but it also revealed parts you never knew existed. Strength you didn't recognize, faith you didn't think you had, and a closeness to Allah that comfort never gave you. Pain exposes reality. You didn't ask to be misunderstood while hurting. You didn't ask for others to minimize your struggle. But Allah never minimizes your pain. Every tear has value. Every sigh is recorded. Nothing you feel is meaningless in His sight. There are moments when you feel guilty for hurting while others seem fine. But Allah gives each soul its own test. Comparison only adds another burden. Your pain is valid because Allah allowed it specifically for you, and He never makes mistakes. This pain made you realize how temporary everything is, how quickly stability can shift, how fragile plans can be, and how necessary it is to anchor your heart in Allah alone. What feels like loss may actually be redirection. You didn't choose this pain, but you are choosing how to respond to it. Every time you return to Allah instead of turning away, you are winning. Every moment you remain patient despite confusion, you are growing. Even when it feels like nothing is changing. One day, this pain will speak to you differently. It will no longer feel like an open wound. It will feel like a chapter that shaped you. Until that day comes, know this: Allah did not allow this pain without purpose, and He will not leave you where He found you. Allah sees what your eyes cannot see. While you stand in confusion, He stands in complete knowledge. You see the pain in front of you, but Allah sees the outcome waiting beyond it. Your vision is limited to the moment. His wisdom spans your entire life. What feels like a dead end to you may be a turning point written long ago. Nothing escapes His awareness, not even the thoughts you keep hidden. You look at what was taken from you and wonder how it could ever be replaced. Allah looks at what was taken and knows exactly why it had to go. He sees the harm it would have caused later, the weight it would have placed on your heart. Removal is sometimes mercy wrapped in loss. Even when you don't understand the removal, it is still guided by love. Your heart measures pain by what it feels right now. Allah measures it by what it saves you from. There are futures He protects you from without explaining why. There are paths He blocks because they lead to spiritual emptiness. You only see the closed door. Allah sees the cliff behind it. You focus on the delay and assume something is wrong. Allah focuses on timing and knows something is being perfected. A delay in your life does not mean denial. It means preparation is still happening. Allah never rushes His plans, even when you feel like time is slipping away. Sometimes you feel lost because what once guided you is gone. Allah knows that guidance was temporary. He removes temporary supports, so you can lean on the one who never leaves. What feels like abandonment is often an invitation to deeper reliance. Allah wants your heart fully anchored in Him. You see broken pieces and think something is ruined. Allah sees those pieces as parts of a new structure. He breaks what cannot move forward in its current form. Nothing in your life is shattered beyond repair. Allah specializes in rebuilding what pain touches. You question your worth because of what you're going through. Allah never measures your value by ease. He measures it by faith, sincerity, and patience. Trials are not signs of weakness. They are signs that Allah trusts you with growth. There are moments when silence from Allah feels heavy. You speak, you ask, and you wait. But silence is not absence. Allah is working even when He is quiet. The most important changes often happen where you cannot hear or see them. You may think your dua is unanswered because your situation hasn't changed, but Allah may be changing times instead. Strength, clarity, and resilience are answers too. Sometimes the response comes internally before it appears externally. Allah knows what kind of answer you need most. You only see the present struggle, but Allah sees your future self. He knows the strength you will need and the faith you must carry. So He prepares you now, even if it hurts. Preparation is rarely comfortable, but it is always intentional. You assume pain means something has gone wrong. Allah knows pain sometimes means something is going right. Growth is uncomfortable because it stretches you beyond what you know. Allah does not keep you in places you've outgrown. He moves you, even when the movement hurts. You may feel like you're falling apart. Allah knows you are being refined. Pressure reveals purity, not weakness. Every test removes something unnecessary from your heart. Allah is shaping you for something greater than you can imagine. You worry that you are falling behind in life. Allah knows exactly where you are supposed to be. You are not late. You are not early. You are precisely where divine wisdom placed you. Nothing about your journey is out of order. You focus on what you lost, but Allah focuses on what you will gain. He knows what is coming will require a different version of you. So He prepares your heart before He changes your situation. Readiness matters more than speed. You think Allah doesn't understand how much this hurts. But He created the heart you're feeling it in. He knows every ache before you speak it. Allah is closer to your pain than anyone else could ever be. His knowledge of you is complete. You feel small in the face of this trial. Allah sees your patience as massive. What you consider survival, Allah considers strength. Every moment you endure with faith is heavy on the scale of reward. Nothing you carry for His sake is light. You may think this pain defines your story. Allah knows it is only one chapter. The chapters that follow will make sense of this one. He is writing something bigger than your current understanding, and every page has purpose. You don't see the wisdom yet, and that's okay. Faith is trusting Allah before clarity arrives. Understanding often comes later. Allah asks you to trust Him now because He already sees the full picture. You think you're walking alone through this, but Allah has been with you in every step, every tear, every prayer. He never left, not for a moment. What you cannot see is often what is holding you together. When Allah intends to move you to a higher place, He rarely does it gently. He shifts the ground beneath your feet so you cannot stay where you are. Comfort keeps the soul settled, but growth requires motion. What feels like instability is often divine movement. Allah does not disrupt your life without direction. Pain becomes the signal that where you are is no longer where you belong. Allah allows discomfort when stagnation would harm you. Remaining the same can be more dangerous than change. So, He introduces pressure, not to punish, but to push you forward. Movement is born from unease. Repositioning often begins with detachment. Allah loosens your grip on people, plans, and places you thought were permanent. The separation hurts because attachment was real, but Allah never removes something without reason. He knows what cannot travel with you to the next level. Sometimes Allah shifts you by closing doors you prayed would stay open. You knock again, but the door remains sealed. What you don't see is that staying inside would have limited your growth. Closed doors are not rejection, they are redirection. Allah is guiding you away from what has expired. Pain forces you to reevaluate your surroundings. What once felt safe now feels heavy. What once inspired you now drains you. This is not confusion, it is clarity forming. Allah changes your heart before He changes your position. Awareness is part of repositioning. Repositioning is uncomfortable because it removes familiarity. Allah moves you out of what you know into what you need. The unknown feels frightening, but stagnation is far more dangerous. Allah would rather you feel temporary discomfort than permanent regret. You may feel like everything around you is shifting at once. Relationships change, goals fade, and direction feels unclear. This is what happens when Allah rearranges your life. He does not adjust one piece at a time. He realigns the whole picture. Order often comes after disruption. Pain strips away what no longer aligns with your purpose. It reveals what was built on habit instead of intention. Allah uses hardship to correct your direction, gently or firmly. The more attached you are, the more it may hurt. But the outcome is always alignment. Repositioning does not mean you failed where you were. It means you completed what you needed there. Seasons end not because they were useless, but because their purpose was fulfilled. Allah moves you forward once the lesson is learned. You might resist the movement because comfort still feels appealing. But Allah knows comfort can become a cage. He breaks routine so your soul can breathe again. Growth demands space, and space requires leaving something behind. Sometimes Allah removes you quietly, and sometimes He removes you abruptly. Both are acts of mercy. A gentle exit saves your heart. A sudden one saves your faith. Allah chooses the method that protects you best. You feel like you're being pulled in a direction you didn't plan, but Allah's plans are higher than your own. He positions you where your faith will grow stronger, even if your comfort shrinks. The goal is not ease. The goal is elevation. Repositioning often feels like loss because the old position felt secure. But security without growth is limitation. Allah replaces stability with trust. He wants your reliance to shift from circumstances to Him alone. You may feel disoriented because the map you were using no longer works. Allah has given you a new route. Old strategies cannot take you where He is leading you. Repositioning requires new thinking, new patience, and deeper faith. Pain teaches you when it is time to move. Without it, you might have stayed too long. Allah uses pain as a mercy, not a cruelty. It awakens you before damage sets in. Awareness is protection. Repositioning is rarely instant clarity. It begins with uncertainty and ends with peace. Allah does not reveal everything at once because faith grows in stages. Step by step, He leads you forward. You might feel like you're starting over, but Allah knows you're starting wiser. Nothing you learned is lost. Every experience becomes a tool for where you're going next. Allah never repositions you to lower you. He moves you so you can rise. What feels like being pushed back is often a setup for a stronger launch. Trust the movement, even when it hurts. This pain is not random turbulence. It is a sign you are in transition. Allah is relocating your heart, your mindset, and your direction. You are not being destroyed, you are being repositioned. Sometimes Allah removes something from your life not because it was bad, but because it was no longer safe for your future. What you loved may have felt right in the moment, yet Allah saw where it was leading. He sees consequences long before you ever reach them. His protection often comes disguised as pain, and that disguise is heavy on the heart. There are attachments that feel harmless but slowly weaken your faith. Allah does not wait until they destroy you completely. He intervenes early, even if it feels sudden. Losing something you love can hurt deeply, but losing your connection with Allah would hurt far more. So He breaks what would have broken you. You may feel like Allah took something precious without explanation. But Allah never removes without replacing, even if the replacement comes later. He knows what you are not ready to lose yet, and what you must lose to survive spiritually. His choices are not random, they are protective. Sometimes Allah allows something to end because it was pulling you away from who you were meant to become. Not everything that feels good is good for you long term. Allah prioritizes your akhirah over your comfort in the dunya, and that priority shapes His decisions. You may miss what was familiar, even if it was hurting you quietly. Familiar pain often feels safer than unfamiliar peace. Allah breaks that cycle by removing what keeps you stuck. He loves you too much to let you stay attached to what drains you. There are things Allah takes away because you would have sacrificed too much for them. Your peace, your values, your faith. He sees the price you would have paid later and decides to spare you now. The loss hurts, but the protection lasts. Sometimes Allah breaks something so you don't break yourself trying to hold on to it. Your heart was never meant to carry that weight forever. Allah lifts burdens in ways you don't always recognize. What feels like collapse may actually be relief delayed. You might think Allah is being harsh because the separation was painful, but mercy is not always gentle. Surgeons cut to heal, not to harm. Allah removes with wisdom, even when the removal leaves scars. What Allah takes away often reveals what you were relying on too much. When something leaves, you realize how tightly your heart was holding it. Allah redirects that attachment back to Him. Nothing deserves your heart more than the one who created it. You may feel empty after what was removed. That emptiness is not meant to stay. Allah creates space so He can fill it with something better. But filling comes after healing, not before. Trust the process. There are moments you wish Allah had fixed the situation instead of ending it. But some things cannot be fixed without damaging you further. Allah chooses the option that preserves your soul, even if it costs you emotionally. You may blame yourself, thinking if you had been better, things would have stayed. But some endings are not caused by your shortcomings. They are caused by divine protection. Allah closes doors even when you knock correctly. What Allah removes today may be what you thank Him for tomorrow. Perspective changes with time. Pain fades, clarity grows, and one day you will see how close you were to being harmed. Allah does not allow your heart to shatter without purpose. He knows exactly how much it can take. Every break has a boundary set by Him. You are never tested beyond what you can endure. You might feel like you lost direction after the removal, but Allah removed that thing because it was leading you away from your true direction. Losing it is not losing your path. It is finding the right one. Allah sometimes ends things abruptly to prevent slow destruction. A quick wound heals faster than a lingering infection. His wisdom chooses the lesser pain to save you from the greater one. What was taken may have been good, but not good times for you. Allah differentiates between the two perfectly. His knowledge is precise, and His care is personal. Nothing He removes is accidental. You may not feel protected right now. Pain has a way of blinding the heart. But protection is not always felt immediately. Sometimes it is only recognized in hindsight. Allah breaks what would have broken you, even if you don't see it yet. One day you will, and on that day, gratitude will replace confusion. Until then, trust that His mercy is working, even through the pain. This test was never meant to end you. Allah does not place trials in your life to watch you collapse. He tests to purify, not to destroy. Every hardship carries intention, and every intention is rooted in mercy. Even when it feels overwhelming, the purpose is refinement. You are being shaped, not shattered. Allah knows exactly how much pressure your heart can withstand. Nothing in this test exceeds your capacity, even when it feels unbearable. Your breaking point is known to Him, and He never crosses it. What feels like too much is often the moment before growth appears. Endurance is being built quietly. You may feel weakened by this test, but Allah sees strength forming inside you. Trials strip away false confidence and replace it with reliance. When you stop depending on what can fail, you turn to the one who never does. That shift is not loss, it is elevation. This test is not evidence that Allah is displeased with you. Many of the most beloved servants were tested deeply. Hardship is not rejection, it is often closeness. Allah draws His servants nearer through trials that awaken the heart. Love is sometimes expressed through challenge. Your tears are not ignored. Every sigh, every whispered dua, every moment of patience is recorded. Allah counts what you endure in silence. Nothing you bear for His sake disappears without reward. Even pain becomes worship when carried with faith. You may think you are failing this test because you feel tired or confused. But patience is not the absence of struggle. Patience is continuing despite it. Allah does not expect perfection from you, only sincerity. Struggling does not disqualify you. This test is cleansing parts of your heart you didn't know needed healing. It removes arrogance, attachment, and false security. What remains is humility and awareness. Allah purifies before He elevates. Clean vessels hold greater blessings. You might wonder why relief hasn't come yet. Allah delays relief not to hurt you, but to prepare you. Some blessings require a stronger version of you. If relief came too soon, it might undo the lesson. Timing is part of mercy. This test teaches you how to return to Allah sincerely, not out of habit, but out of need. Hardship revives dua and softens hearts. It reminds you where real help comes from. That awareness is priceless. You may feel alone in this test, but Allah is closer than ever. He draws near to the broken-hearted. When you feel weakest, you are often closest to Him. Nearness is not always felt as comfort. Sometimes it is felt as survival. This test exposes what truly matters. It rearranges your priorities and refines your focus. Things that once distracted you lose their grip. Allah clears space in your heart for what is eternal. Temporary pain makes room for lasting clarity. You are not being punished for something you did wrong. Sometimes you are being prepared for something right. Tests often come before blessings, not after. Allah trains His servants before He entrusts them with more. Readiness matters. This test is shaping your character, not just your circumstances. Strength of faith is built under pressure. Ease does not reveal who you are. Hardship does. Allah is building something within you that ease never could. You may feel like your prayers are unanswered, but Allah answers in ways you don't always recognize. Protection, strength, and redirection are answers too. Not every response looks like immediate relief. This test reminds you that control belongs only to Allah. Letting go of control is painful, but freeing. When you stop forcing outcomes, peace begins to enter. Trust grows where surrender lives. Allah does not rush this test because He values its outcome. Rushing growth would weaken its roots. What grows slowly stands firmly. Allah wants your faith to last, not just to appear strong. You are not behind because you are being tested. You are not forgotten because relief is delayed. You are in a process that Allah Himself designed. Every step has meaning. This test will end. Nothing in this life is permanent except Allah. The pain will lift, the lesson will remain. What you gain through this trial will stay with you long after the hardship fades. Allah is not trying to destroy you through this test. He is preparing you. One day, you will look back and realize this pain carried you forward. Until then, remain patient and trust His wisdom. Holding on during pain is one of the hardest forms of faith. When relief feels distant and strength feels low, Allah asks you not to let go. Not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. Clinging to Him in weakness is more powerful than standing strong without Him. This is where real faith is revealed. There will be moments when your heart feels heavy in prayer. You stand, but your soul feels tired. Still, you pray. That effort matters more than perfect focus. Allah values your return to Him, even when it feels forced. Showing up in hardship is an act of devotion. Holding on does not mean pretending you are okay. It means choosing Allah even while hurting. It means crying in sujood instead of walking away. Allah does not expect silence from you. He welcomes honesty. Your broken words reach him just as clearly. When pain lingers, bitterness tries to settle in. Guard your heart carefully. Do not let hardship turn you away from mercy. Let it soften you instead. A softened heart remains connected. A hardened one becomes distant. Allah loves hearts that remain gentle despite pain. Sometimes holding on feels like holding on to nothing. The future looks unclear and the present feels unstable. But faith is trusting Allah without seeing the full path. You only need the next step, not the whole staircase. Allah reveals guidance gradually. You may feel tempted to withdraw from worship because it hurts to hope. But worship in pain carries a special weight. It is easy to remember Allah when life is kind. Remembering Him when life is heavy is a sign of sincerity. Holding on means resisting the urge to rush relief. It means trusting Allah's timing over your impatience. Rushed healing can leave wounds untreated. Allah heals fully, not quickly. Patience protects the heart from future pain. There are days when all you can do is whisper Allah's name, and that is enough. Allah does not demand long speeches from the broken. A single sincere call carries more weight than perfect words. Never underestimate small acts of faith. You might feel like you are failing because you feel weak, but weakness does not cancel belief. Allah knows the difference between weakness and abandonment. Struggling to hold on is still holding on, and that effort is seen. When holding on hurts, remember why you began. Remember the times Allah carried you through what you thought you couldn't survive. He did not bring you this far to let you fall now. His help may be quiet, but it is constant. Holding on means choosing patience over panic. Panic seeks immediate escape. Patience seeks lasting peace. Allah rewards patience not just with relief, but with elevation. What you endure shapes who you become. You may feel alone while holding on, but you are not unsupported. Angels witness your patience. Allah hears your whispers. The unseen world is more active in your life than you realize. You are surrounded by divine care. Sometimes holding on means letting go of control. Control creates tension. Surrender creates peace. Trusting Allah does not weaken you, it frees you. Let Him carry what is too heavy for your heart. You may not see progress, but holding on is progress. Faith is not measured by speed, but by consistency. Every day you choose Allah again, you move forward. Even slow steps count. Holding on does not mean ignoring your pain. It means placing it where it belongs with Allah. He is not overwhelmed by your emotions. Give Him what you cannot handle. That exchange is part of healing. When everything feels uncertain, make Allah your certainty. People change. Circumstances shift. Allah remains. Anchor your heart where nothing can collapse. There will come a day when holding on no longer hurts this much. The weight will lift. The clarity will come. Until then, your perseverance matters. Allah loves those who remain with Him through difficulty. Holding on during pain is not weakness. It is courage. It is faith in motion. And Allah never leaves those who choose Him, even when their hands are shaking.